What have you surmised so far from this helicopter crash?
It definitely confirms what has already been around for a while, that French military or intelligence are active in Libya, and they have been operating there for many months. However, the fact that they have been killed in action raises some concerns, because what we understand on the ground, what I understand on the ground, is that French military or French intelligence are mainly in advisory capacity, and they provide logistical supports, intelligence, etc. So this comes as a little bit surprising, and it will put France's role under the spotlight, because France supports the UN efforts in Libya, but at the same time it is supporting one of the factions that continues to be a little bit or slightly opposed to the UN-backed government in Libya. However, I would want to make a correction that I heard in your report, is that the Libyan National Army or General Khalifa Haftar is definitely backed by the House of Representatives, the internationally recognized House of Representatives in Tobruk, and its president Aguila Saleh. But again, this highlights the dilemma for France and the international community of dealing with the political and the military divides that have happened in Libya and are still continuing at the moment.
When you say killed in action, do you mean killed in action because they got close to the action in their advisory road, or killed in action because they took part in the action, in the fighting?
I don't think that what I understand is they do not take part in the action. However, their advisory role needs them to be close to where the action is. And in this case, the action was taking place around 80 kilometers to the south of Benghazi, near the city of Ijdabiya, and that in the town of El Magroun. And that is where the helicopter was supposed to have crashed in Libya. But again, we still have not had confirmation about the location of where the helicopter crashed exactly. And if we get that, then we will understand whether they were really engaged or were very close to where the action was taking place, or maybe it could have been somewhere else not very close, and we do not know exactly if it was really shot by some of the extremist groups that the Libyan army and is fighting near Ijdabiya or Benghazi at the moment.
So we have French special forces there, we have the British, we have the Americans, we have the Italians. What's the role of these foreign forces?
Yes. What's happening is that the international community, especially the West, are dealing with Libya on two different levels. They're dealing with Libya on a political and diplomatic level, where they support the UN efforts and they support the unity government and the UN-backed government. But on a more realistic military and intelligence level, where they have to be active on the ground, because they understand the threat that extremist and terrorist groups present to the security of these nations and to the interests of these nations in the region. So their main role has always been advisory, providing intelligence, support on the ground in terms of tactics, advising on tactics and how to deal with the enemy. But again, that means that these forces have to be, or these personnel have to be close to the action at some point, and that puts them in direct danger, where they might have to be involved in direct military confrontations with the extremists on the ground.
And has their help yielded results?
It has definitely yielded results in Sirte, and it has definitely yielded results in Benghazi and in eastern Libya, where these terrorist or these extremist groups have been pushed out of their territory and squeezed to not have any leverage or significance, where they can operate safely out in Libya and out of Libya. So definitely there has been a lot of progress on the ground in the east and also in the central region of Sirte as well.